Majestic warriors of resolve, unwavering souls gathered here tonight, I welcome you into the storm of truth, into the furnace of realization, into the edge where fear meets its end, where the shackles of doubt give way to the clarity of purpose. Listen, not because your ears deserve it, but because your heart demands it. For too long, you have danced in shadows pretending weakness was comfort, pretending silence was safety. But tonight, the air shifts. Tonight, your spirit stands tall. You did not win by some gracious mercy. You did not rise by chance or whim. You rose because you seized something far more potent than victory. You took their voice and their pride. Feel it. This electric surge in your veins. This pounding in your chest. This hunger that words cannot satisfy. This flame that reason cannot quench you. Look back at those who doubted you. They believed you weak. They thought you fearful. They cast shadows over your ambition. They spoke of limits where you saw horizon. But you moved anyway. You acted anyway. You persisted anyway. They told you your voice would be silenced. Your words would be dismissed. Your dreams would be ignored, your existence a whisper among their roar. But you made their roar tremble. You made their certainty collapse. You made their mockery decay into ashes under the weight of your resolve. This is not victory in soft measure. This is oppression undone. This is humiliation tasted by those who sought to humble you. This is the quietus of their arrogance. You did not win. You took their voice and their pride because winning is passive. Because winning is the finish line. But you shattered their voice. You shamed their pride. You extracted from them their comfort in scorn. And now silence presses heavy on those who once jeered. Now silence suffocates. The arrogance that choked your potential. Think of every time they said you would fail. Every night you wept with doubt. Every morning you rose uncertain. Every moment your past whispered cowardice. Every moment your future demanded boldness. You fought through those moments. You clawed through despair. You molded your fear into strength, your weakness into armor, your uncertainties into strategy. When they said your voice would be drowned, you made it thunder. When they said your words would matter, not. You carved your message into minds. You built your truth into monuments they cannot dismantle. When they said you were nothing more than a shadow, you became the eclipse they never saw coming. Remember the wounds, how deep they cut, how long their sting, the betrayal, the disbelief, the scorn, the mockery, the quiet laughter behind closed doors, the loud ridicule in public squares. All those wounds are the fuel. Now, all that pain is the tinder now. All that shame is the forge in which you are crafted. They believed their voice was destined to rule the discourse. They believed their pride would insulate them from your rise. But pride is brittle when built on disregard, when voice is taken by you. Because you refuse to stay silent, everyone will hear what you have to say. Because everywhere you step, your presence speaks. Because everywhere you move, your intention rings. And now the silence of your enemies is not by chance. It is because you made them afraid of your voice, because you rendered their pride hollow. Taste that silence, taste the void. Where once their voices were thunder, taste the emptiness of their confidence, the smallness of their former scorn. You did not win, you escalated beyond winning. You redefined the battle. You rewrote the rules, you reappropriated the narrative. You seized the power that they thought belonged only to them. Let every breath you draw be a testament that they cannot replace you, that your worth is not borrowed, that your purpose is carved in bone, that your existence demands respect. This journey is not gentle. This journey is not for the faint of heart. This journey is for the ones who look into their own reflection and see the war within and decide to brand it as triumph. Because you did not simply achieve, you overcame. You transcended the limitations others imposed. You broke the laws of expectation. You shattered the custom of dismissal. They taught you to be small. They taught you to be quiet. They taught you to wait for permission, but you refused to wait. You refused to be small. You refused to be quiet. There is a thunder in your chest that shakes the foundations of their disbelief, a voice rising from your depths that drowns out every insult, every reprimand, every chain forged by their rejection. You took their voice and their pride, and now you make your own rules. You speak in a language they cannot decipher. You walk in a light they cannot withstand. Do not soften your footsteps now. Do not mute your voice now. Do not fold your spirit. Now stand. Amid the ruin of their confidence, and let the echo of your resolve be the evidence of your ascent. Let your eyes betray nothing but certainty. Let your posture radiate inevitability. Let your words carve canyons in their memory. You are the force. They could not anticipate the storm. They could not contain the voice. They could not silence the pride. They could not protect. Their pride, once inflated by illusions, deflated by your rising, their voice, once loud with assured dominance, rendered voiceless by your courage. Now, where once was noise, there is hush. Where once was mockery, there is awe. Where once was contempt, there is reverence. You did not win in their terms. You redefined what winning means. You did not win by their rules. You became the rule. You did not win by their mercy. You demanded their silence. You did not win by their applause. You forced their respect. Do not look backwards, seeking validation from those who once dismissed you. Now, they are hushed now. They are quiet. Now, they are forced into a stillness. Your greatness cannot be denied. But do not mistake their silence for peace. Do not rest in this moment, believing the war is over. Your voice must stay sharp. Your pride must stay unbreakable. Your resolve must remain relentless. For those who have lost their voice will try again to steal yours. For those whose pride has been taken will try again to project theirs upon you. For those who are silenced by you will seek to drown you in distraction, ridicule, betrayal, fear. Stand firm. When whispers of doubt claw your calm answer with thunderous conviction. When the mirror shows you scarred, show it battle-proof. When their jealousy rings loud, show it reflection of your light. Your enemies cannot speak anymore because you showed them a force beyond their mockery. You showed them that voice can be taken and restored, that pride can be stolen and regained stronger. And now, you must use what you took, not to oppress others, but to uplift yourself, not to silence those in need, but to guard your own truth. For what you have accomplished is not only your humiliation turned into triumph, your dismissal turned into dominance. It is your birthright reclaimed. Let this moment carve itself into your bones, into your memory, into your marrow. From henceforth, let no one tell you you are less than. Let no one tell you your voice is unimportant. Let no one suggest your pride is fragile. You took what they tried to deny you. You seized what they claimed you could never possess. You became what they feared and what they envied. Now, walk forward in that knowledge. Walk with weight behind every step. Let your presence cause tremors of respect. Let your silence command attention. Let your voice shatter complacency. Do you hear the quiet now? Do you feel the tremor? Now, do you see the fear in their eyes? They cannot speak anymore, for your voice drowns theirs. They cannot stand tall, for your pride crushes theirs. You are the storm that broke their arrogance. You are the light that shadow could not contain. Hold this moment close. Mission clear, horizon in sight. Voice undeleted, pride unbroken. Tonight, you belong to nothing but your own truth. Tonight, you are the victor they never saw coming. Tonight, you have not won, you have taken. And with what you have taken, you create the world you were born to live in. And now that you have taken what they clung to, with false certainty, now that you've shattered their imagined superiority, now that your footsteps echo in chambers they once ruled with arrogance, there is one truth you must never forget. You did not win, because winning is what they taught you to chase, but you didn't chase. You hunted. You didn't hope. You planned. You didn't wait. You moved. And while they were busy looking down on you, while they were laughing at your failures, whispering behind your back, building walls made of assumptions, they forgot one critical truth. They forgot what it means to face someone with nothing left to lose, but everything left to prove. You did not cry for pity. You did not beg for a seat at their table. You built your own. And now the table shakes when you walk into the room. Let them feel the consequence of underestimation. Let them sit in silence in the aftermath of your storm. Let them recall every word they used to break you, every moment they tried to silence you. Let those memories now be their discomfort, because your presence alone is now a reminder that they failed to bury you. You were not born to be passive. You were not born to be silent. You were born to unsettle the systems that dismissed you, to question the laws written without your voice, to tear down the myths that claimed you were less. And as you walk forward now, never forget what you've taken is not just theirs. It is yours by right. You've reclaimed what should never have been withheld in the first place, your voice, your power, your pride. You turn the noise of their mockery into the silence of their defeat. You turn the smirk in their eyes into the fear they now try to hide. And no matter how they try to spin the past, the truth is, they lost something they can never get back. And you found something they can never take away again. The world will not always cheer for you, but the silence of your enemies, that is louder than applause, that is heavier than trophies, that is sharper than medals, because that silence means they no longer have control. That silence means you rose in the face of doubt, and now the rules belong to you. Use that power wisely, but never shrink again. Never apologize for being more. Never ask permission to rise. Never dim your light to protect their pride. They would have used your silence to decorate their narrative. They would have used your defeat as a cautionary tale. But you flipped the script. Now, they are the example. Now they are the warning. Now they are the ones who must sit in silence as your name is spoken, and the world will see you. They will remember not because you played nice, not because you followed their rules, but because you took what was yours and left nothing of theirs untouched by your fire. Your enemies cannot speak anymore, not because you gagged them, but because they were never ready to face the consequences of your resilience. They never expected you to endure, to adapt, to thrive. And now they sit in the ruins of their certainty, surrounded by the silence they never imagined would come from someone like you. So let them sit, let them wonder, let them regret, because now you are the one they talk about in whispers. You are the name they can't say without flinching. You are the memory that echoes when their pride tries to rise again. You took their voice, you took their pride, and you gave yourself everything they refused to hand you. This is not the end of your story. It is the moment the world learned to listen, and they will listen because now They have no choice. Let your silence be power. Let your voice be legacy. Let your pride be unshakable. And let your enemies live with the truth. They can no longer deny that you did not win. You conquered. You dismantled. You rose and you took back every piece of yourself they tried to erase. Now, walk as the one they tried to stop. Now speak as the one they could not silence. Now stand as the one they must respect. The world belongs to the voice that refuses to disappear. And you are still here, louder than ever, prouder than ever. You did not win. You took, and you'll never give it back. And now that the silence grows louder, that void where their pride once stood, this is not a coincidence. This is consequence. This is cause and effect in its most raw, undeniable form. This is what happens when someone like you rises, not by accident, not by luck, but by defiance, by refusal, by sheer audacity to not remain what they assumed you would forever be. You are not a survivor of their words. You are the author of your own legend. When they buried your voice, they didn't know it was a seed. They didn't know that by choking your truth, they were feeding the storm. That the silence they forced on you would be the silence they're now drowning in. You didn't ask them to fall. You let them collapse under the weight of everything they failed to understand about you. Because they thought power was in volume. They thought pride came from control. But they didn't understand that real power is presence. That real pride is born when no one believes in you, and you build yourself anyway. They couldn't fathom that someone with every reason to break would instead become unbreakable. That is what you are now, and now you stand not as a warning, but as proof. Proof that silence is not the end, that being overlooked is not defeat, that being underestimated is not a death sentence but a beginning. Because the underestimated have no ceiling, no expectation to weigh them down, only the freedom to ascend. And you have ascended higher than they ever imagined you could. You've taken their voice, not through vengeance, but through evolution. You became so loud in your purpose, so unwavering in your discipline, so defiant in your forward motion, that their words no longer hold weight. Their pride, a castle of sand next to your foundation of fire and stone. There is no need to scream now. Your silence says everything. The kind of silence that radiates presence, the kind that walks into rooms before you do, the kind of silence that turns heads, that unsettles the proud, that makes the ones who once mocked you look away, unsure whether to apologize or run. You've become what they tried to keep you from becoming, and they can't reverse it. They can't erase it. They can't speak over it, because now every word they would try to say sounds like fear. It sounds like retreat. It sounds like regret. And if they do speak, if they dare to raise their voice again, it will be in whispers, because even they now know, deep in places they won't admit, that the game has changed, that you're not the same, that the version of you they tried to bury doesn't exist anymore. They're no longer the authority in your story. You are. You write the chapters now. You hold the pen, and their silence. It is the space between your sentences. It is the punctuation that follows your every move. So don't waste time looking for closure in their apologies. Their silence is the apology. Don't waste energy waiting for validation. Their fear is the validation. Don't look back to hear what they think. They can't speak anymore. And even if they could, what could they possibly say? What excuse could they offer that could match the truth you've become? What words could they form that could outweigh the silence of their own fall? You did not win. That word is too soft now, too clean, too small. You took, you claimed, you exacted, you transformed. And now you carry what they lost. You carry the lessons of your struggle, the strength of your persistence, the authority of your presence, the roar of your silence. This is a weight only the truly forged can bear. This is a throne only the battle-born can sit upon. Do not look for comfort in this place. This is not a place of rest. This is a battlefield still. Because the pride you now wear, it will be challenged again. The voice you have taken back, it will be tested. The throne you've claimed, many will want to steal it. But you are not who you once were. You don't fear the test. You are the test. You don't flinch when threatened. You are the threat. You don't seek approval anymore. You are the standard. And from this moment forward, remember, those who have nothing to say now, once had everything to say then, and they wasted it. Let their silence echo. Let it ring in your ears as fuel. Let it remind you that your voice was never the problem. Your pride was never too much. Your dream was never too far. It was them who were too small to see it, too afraid to accept it, too late to stop it. Now, you are uncatchable, untouchable, unrelenting. And as you walk forward, there will be others who try to do to you what they did, others who will try to strip your voice, others who will try to puncture your pride. But now you know what to do. Now you've lived through the taking, and now you've become the taker. Do not hesitate. Do not forget. Do not ever dim to keep others comfortable in their silence. Make noise when you must. Go quiet when you choose. But never again let someone silence you because they fear your echo. You did not win. You became the storm that silenced the field. You became the echo that outlasted every insult. You became the name they can't ignore, even when they try not to speak it. You became the force they tried to control, but couldn't contain. And now you carry the silence like a crown. And every time someone dares to stand against you, they'll feel it. They'll feel what your enemies felt. They'll feel what it's like to have their pride tested by someone who cannot be broken. They'll feel what it's like to face a voice that was once denied, but now demands the world to listen. You are no longer rising. You have risen. And they can't speak anymore. Because you didn't just survive them, you silenced them. So here you stand, not merely as a victor, but as a force reshaping reality itself. What you have done cannot be undone. You did not simply cross a finish line or hold a trophy aloft. You rewrote the rules of engagement. You turned the battlefield into your arena, where your voice is the weapon and your pride the armor. What they thought would be your breaking point became your breakthrough. You took their voice and their pride, not because you wished to silence or shame, but because you refused to be silenced or diminished any longer. Their voices are gone, not because you destroyed them, but because you rose so powerfully that their noise no longer matters. Their pride has crumbled, not because you humiliated them, but because you reclaimed what was always yours, the right to stand tall, to speak loud, to be unapologetically yourself. And in this reclamation lies your true victory. This is not a victory wrapped in applause or fleeting cheers. It is a victory carved in stone, etched into the fabric of time, witnessed by the very silence that once sought to drown you. The silence of your enemies is not emptiness. It is the echo of your strength, the shadow of your relentless will. It speaks louder than words ever could. It is the quiet proof that what they built on arrogance and underestimation has collapsed beneath the weight of your endurance and ferocity. Take a moment to breathe this in, the silence, the stillness, the calm after the storm you have become. But know this moment is not an end point, but a new beginning. The voice you have reclaimed is a responsibility. The pride you now wear is not a shield to hide behind, but a banner to lead with. This is your call to continue shaping the world, not just for yourself, but for everyone who was told their voice did not matter, for every soul who has been underestimated, dismissed, or silenced.